and people are gonna say that homosexuals actually will never talk negative about women. Yeah, if they're out, but if they are closeted, they do tend to use that to hide that they're closeted. They will come out hardcore against women. So it is one of those things that you go, you gotta. I just said to be aware of. Just be aware that this is a thing. And I've been trying to say, like, I hear things. There's little scuttlebutt. Pause. Right? Little scuttlebutts out here. Let's get the pause. Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, there's little scuttlebutts. There's little alliances and allegiances. And then you look at it and go, well, these guys have never had girlfriends. They've never been married. They've never had living relationships. If they did, they hit it. But it's like, Can anybody? All right, CGA was wrong again. Apparently, you're wrong for that. All right, you're wrong for that. Just to let you know. There's more of that too. And for people who have watched my show and you've seen it, that's a little too close. All right, Three's Company, a little bit too close. Anyway, super chats coming up here. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, there's more to that story. Apparently, then we're going to talk about, I guess it's an evil world we live in, and we're getting closer. We're matriculating the ball downfield to the main event story, but we're giving you we're up on the downstroke. He said he wrong with the information. He right with the information, wrong for hurting your feelings. Yes, and all feelings get hurt here. We all have feelings. But I was just trying to say, people move differently here. People move differently around here. Anyway, let's get to the support. Super chat your hate and support over here. If you wish and will for support of today's show. Has the show been fire today? This is the most interesting thing that's been happening in a week on the Manosphere. Right? Well, this is not the Manosphere. This is the Afterbill. This is Hollywood CGA. Hollywood CGA. And so it says, we got William W. He says, don't say his name out of respect, but he says, I felt like so-and-so was grooming men to like men. I could be overthinking, but that's my assumption. And I'm not going to say the person's name. And he said, don't say the person's name out of respect. But we're going to talk about this later on. Oh, by the way, shout out to you for remind me of this one right here. We got a special cast coming up on kick.com. We're going to show you grooming men to like brother. Apparently I was taught a lesson on my vacation. And we're going to do a live stream on my monetized Kick platform. The link is right there. All right, you don't have the link. But we're going to talk about that because people have been talking about it. And I've just been saying the speaker of truth is here right there. Join me on kick.com. Apparently, Buster CGA was taught a lesson. All right, I was taught a lesson, all right, by the losers bracket of the Black Manosphere, by the cheap seats. All right, the booze from the cheap seats were going crazy. All right, and I love every minute of it. All right, somebody say, can Sneeko come back as CGA for exposing him? I didn't expose him. I didn't expose him. Now y'all worried about I didn't expose him. It's all over on Twitter. All right, it's on Twitter. That's why I didn't name no names. But I've been telling you, it's on the internet. I didn't say shit. All right. So I was like, they don't like that I take a vacation, so they gotta be like, let's talk about it. But of course, I sold some more courses. I sold some of my trick dating courses. 3 of them while I was in the airport. Andrew Tate came out and he brought it up. He didn't name Sneeko, but he later did name Sneeko. But Sneeko didn't And there was closeted Gen X. I mean, look at Diddy. But the Diddy rumors, the funny thing about Diddy is the Diddy rumors were out as early as 2000 when Mace was on the record label. All right, they were saying, what was that? Whitney Williams was saying Mace was slobbing on Diddy's knob. We heard that back when I'm coming out. When he used the I'm coming out sample from Diana Ross. So
you know what?
That was going on behind the scenes. We didn't know that Cassie was doing look too loud. Black Boy Max is going through this right now. He's a Gen Z. He's one of those popular Gen Z content creators out there. I'm not saying he's rainbow either, but apparently he's dealing with these allegations as well. So it's interesting, man. It's an interesting thing going on right here. Watch it. Shout out to No Government Aim. He says NTR made videos after videos plays in Thailand after he said he will take a break. AMS had a rebuttal. NTR said Freedom Roll Lifestyle after AMS made some rebuttal. It was not about Freedom Roll Lifestyle until AMS said something. But that's just, I feel a little bit bad for NT. You know what I mean? Because he's a young man trying to find his way. He's trying to get experience in life. It never was me about talking about him traveling. But yeah, I mean, he's a type of content creator. He has a type of style of content, which I never cared for, but it never was about that. It was just about the whole freedom world thing. And I was like, yeah, think again. And nobody's ever addressed that head on. Okay, nobody's ever addressed that. To say, let's have a conversation about that. Now, what they did was just gaslight me. Right? They just went and gaslight me and act like I was crazy and misinterpreting my thoughts. And I'm like, oh man. Right? So much for having a conversation with an equals.
Hey, now that you're back here in Sanctuary, how would you like a job?
A job? For me? Really?
Yeah. What do you say? Want to work for me?
One Black Manosphere. I might be wrong. I don't do a lot of content that I collaborate,
Yes.
but I've never
Oh
collaborated
my
with
God,
one.
this is the best thing to happen to me since
Right?
the
It's
worst
a highway
thing to
to
happen to
nowhere.
me.
All right, so with that being said, shout out to those that do. It just was never my lane because of just the way they were doing it.
Just wanted to trade a few things.
The lane that I watch. But shout out to Angry Man. I love him and Obsidian. Got great love and respect and admiration for those type of people. All right, but apparently they went back to back, toe to toe, and
They
there
didn't
was some
tell me
videos and
much.
stuff like that. Again, I wasn't watching those videos as much too.
Everyone build out their horn.
And I just was on
I was
vacation.
supposed to win a pack of steak knives.
Tied to this place, kid. Your energy.
And now he said he didn't know what it was. He didn't know about freedom. Which I said, that's just interesting. You did 8 or 10 reviews. Anyway, we'll talk about that later on tonight. But they've attacked every point of that. And there is an allegiance that we don't realize.
I know.
Don't know what's going on. There's an allegiance in the manospheres that I've never been a part of either. I've never been
Hey,
accepted
Piper.
openly. In fact, the white manosphere cancels me, and the black manospheres never accepted me. So
Heading
I've
my
never
way?
been a part of any manosphere allegiance. But there is allegiances where if you attack one, the other will attack. And those allegiances have been solidified for years. It's kind of like a high school clique. And they do their best to not even bring up the other members. If you're not in the clique and not accepted in the clique, you can't sit at the table. And you're like, all right, they'll never acknowledge you, they'll never bring you up, they'll never talk positively about you. They simply have an allegiance where, and they've had these allegiances, as we would call it, an underworld, an undergroup. It might have some homosexual tendencies related to it, the way they protect each other's booty. And I'm like, that's interesting. And they have a similar way to produce content where it's kind of dramatic, right? Where they'll go crazy and act like you never, some Mean Girls. They'll act like you never exist until you're just opposed to them. And then they will have so much information about you. You're like, that's weird. You could not come up with that after 3 days. 3 days, you'd have all of this information. Actually, I'll prove it. $1. And the price point that he put up was the price point that doesn't exist. It hasn't existed for a month and a half. So, that is interesting. You attack that price point, but that price point hasn't been the price point for the last
You
black
mess with
man,
all of us.
I'm gonna say this. Never trust black men. And I'm a black man, I'm just gonna tell you guys. They act like they, and the white manosphere is like this. This is why I can't really associate with them anymore. They got up together and had a therapy session with Andy Wilson as it after he supposedly beat me and canceled me from the manosphere, which was completely weird. Alright, I was like, that's weird. Because there's an allegiance going on. They have an alliance. And if you're not, you know, a part of the, you know, if you don't drink blood or you don't have a gay orgy with them,
Seems to
you
be
don't
growing
count.
well.
But as a black man, these guys, you're sharing something in confidentiality, and they share it with the other person. So another content creator had a conversation about it. I shared my thoughts about it, and he shared it with MTR. Good Lord. When I say, and dudes be like, you should collab with this person, this is why I stay by myself. I just stay by myself, man, because some dudes are very dramatic. All right, they're very dramatic. And what they'll do is they'll just say, I was the dramatic one. Like, huh? You're being the dramatic one. You're the one who need therapy. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. But can we talk about the freedom roll lifestyle, being close to the free agent lifestyle? Can we talk about this? No. And then the low grade niggas will come over here and be like, he on your neck. Trust me, this is like a tree falling in the forest. Nobody cares about the black manosphere outside of the black manosphere. Not even the white manosphere cares about the black manosphere. Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna see it outside of that. My core group don't even watch manosphere content other than, you know, CGA, but I'm not manosphere as it would seem. Nobody's gonna hear it but poor niggas. Like, broke niggas are the only one that's gonna hear it because, you know, that's their audience. I mean, nobody's gonna hear that shit. Like, the regular YouTube is not gonna be like, oh, wow. Alright. And somebody said, yeah, I promoted him, shouted him out, but, you know, it is what it is. We'll talk about it later on tonight. But, yeah, I mean, I'll guarantee you, 50% of our audience don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. They're like, what? What are you even talking about, CGA? Who gives a fuck? Alright? Press 1 if you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. And we're gonna prove that characters that have come out. In the grand schemes of things, they're in the basement of YouTube. Press 1 if you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Alright, we're gonna show you right here. Take a look. And anybody concerned about this, look at my core audience. They don't even know what I'm talking about right now, which tells me it's time to move on. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. 16,000 views. Whoop-de-doo. I'll have 16,000 views by the end of this live stream. And somebody said, I found out this morning. They don't know what the fuck we're talking about. It's irrelevant. You know, it is what it is. Sorry. Anyway. Shout out to No Government Name. It makes sense that MG said throughout the years, men need to come together. It's always, he says, I always thought it was weird in Rainbow how he promoted men helping men, and yet he's afraid to acknowledge. CGA, right here. Acknowledge. But still, he actually acknowledged it. He just said I didn't own it. He says men don't need vacation. Oh, goodness. Acknowledge. He says, T1 nut, hashtag the shield. And all I'm doing is just reading the chat, just so y'all know. Alright, I'm just reading the chat. People say that I'm dissing, and I'm like, I'm just reading my live chat. Right? They're the ones dissing. Not saying that I have this. Shout out to Alexander Ruffin says, I just came back from the Philippines, and I was a young, early, and it was a, I think you said, it says I was. I think you meant I was on, oh, that's what you said. I was on a young, early 20s woman. He says, there was no way in hell I could settle down with the Dutch woman laughing my ass off. There's no way in the world. And the best thing about men who want to distance themselves from the dick policing of black men and men in general is go ahead and travel overseas. In the Philippines, you can do what you want. You can trick, you can date young women, you can date young women that look young. force you in by dick policing you to do what they want you to do. You're 50, go sit in a rocking chair, it's over for you. Shout out to you in the Philippines, Alexander R. That is a sponsorship dealing with the young girls. Isn't it great? Isn't it great?
How it's going for you guys. I started the stream on a different platform. I was on Facebook.
Can you explain why do men get offended by that? They hate CGA because you prove that men, especially Gen Z men, that can live by themselves without others or kissing ass have well, men. And if you're on the internet, friends, having multiple friends and tens and twenties of friends are not, it's not a popularity contest. All right, you can get through life with 2 or 3 solid individuals, men or women, and win. Some men learn this early, some men it take a long time. Okay, but you don't need all of these friends and to say this is my friend and I'm friends with this person, I'm friends with that person. You don't need that to win. You don't need a whole group of homeboys and solids and day ones and a whole group of dudes and a whole entourage. It's unnecessary. And any man that think that that's valuable, well, solid people. And those people can include women. There can be a solid woman.
The Commonwealth is
the law of diminishing returns. Donnie Yee says, by the way, just because you're a free agent doesn't mean that you don't interact or sleep with women. You just don't prioritize them. That's free agent lifestyle introduction page. That's the You just don't prioritize them. That's free agent lifestyle introduction page. That's the introduction page 6. Okay, so
What was that comment? I seen the comment actually. AI viewers. No, I don't have AI viewers. Look how thick I am. I was not on YouTube when I was supposed to be on YouTube. I'll probably do a second stream later. shit like this. Like some of these weapons just fucking suck on this playthrough, man. Damn. I'm over here hitting you right in your fucking face. That's why I just used the fucking sniper, man. Jesus fuck, man, this game.
I'm gonna tear your fucking throat out!
So I'll be camping in the night.
Thank God for you having your picture. I'll let you stick around. Here we go with this being priced out shit. How they get priced out if they wasn't paying for it to begin with?
Damn.
I'm sorry. Not sure.
Damn. Damn.
Okay.
What's that mean?
Who wasn't paying for what?
Oh, they trying to fight with CCN. Oh, we
All right, here we go right here. So, don't feel bad that you sold a bitch a dream and you just wanted to fuck. Don't feel bad. Feel bad about that. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about selling a bitch a dream when you just wanted to fuck. This is the type of stuff that I've been saying about dating coaches for a long time. I was like, well, why go through all that? Like, what?
What that mean?
Because that's a form of payment. By the way, child support is these niggas' game. They don't tell you about when they on child support. I be like, well, when you're on child support, you paid. No, it ain't. That's not paying. I'm like, you're paying on the back end. You're paying for back end child support. 100% chance he's on child support. So let's just trick the women out of this and then don't pay. Let's promise that we're gonna pay, but don't pay. Don't you know that some municipalities, namely New York and Los Angeles, have laws against this? I know there's laws against tricking, but there's laws against this just for people and scumbags like you. Let's do all of this work for a little bit of poon. Let's trick them out of punani. Do that shit. Because if the opportunity presents itself and she can finesse you, she's gonna finesse you and not even think twice about it. We covered this already. This is called when men manipulate. It's a crime. When women manipulate men, it's seen as part of the game. You have to understand this. This is something that you're doing out of anger and frustration with the monetized dating marketplace. Now you're gonna do what I call, you're gonna get a piece of pussy and serve 18 years. Right? Or get 18 years of child support. Believe me, the women are already ahead of this. This is nothing new that you're doing. They already are ahead of this. If they just want to have sex with you, they will, sir. Alright, but I thought that crispy mouthpiece was working. Well, the crispy mouthpiece is not working so much. Now we gotta go back to selling them dreams. Let's continue. You feel me? So don't be these simp ass niggas. Let's take a page out of their book, okay? Sell it to a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Sell a bitch some game. You know what I'm saying? And not the bitch. You feel me?
Like CGA, you are 100% right on this, but I think the Pookie has the wrong angle on this because there's this light skinned dude on IG named that boy Debo. And there's dudes that pull out Marvel wallets, just giving excess amounts of cash to skeezers and not getting nothing in return.
Like, this is crazy. They don't take all of this. How about we get a job? How about we get a job? How about checking your check a job application? How about knock off a couple of courses in AI? How about do that? Anything to do that. Anything to do that. Yeah. How about you do this? Take a page out of these tips and these tricks. And then you buy it. On the track, not make it done. How about you go out and get those education, get a couple degrees, like CGA. Would they be mad at me for everybody not getting
What's up, asshole?
Damn. Damn. Damn.
So I'm assuming this is me. Let's just put this up. This is him, y'all. Hold on for a second. This is who you need to be.
best corner in the chat.
I'm just getting started. Killed him. Lucky hit.
Unfortunately,
You feel that?
Maddie. Damn. All right, give me 1 second. Right back.
How much did Shannon Sharp pay to fuck that 19-year-old?
Well, it's Shannon Sharp, yo. That's all right. I'll be right back, Chad. Man, 6 today. Alrighty, hold on, I'm back. Alrighty, guys. We'll unlock this real quick.
Got it.
Hey, y'all, I'll catch y'all later on this. I gotta